Yo, what's up guys? Welcome back to another trading video with me, Oscar. Today we're going to talk about a paper trade that I took on VKTX. Turned out to be a loss. And this trade really made me like start thinking about. Of course, I've been thinking about this stuff for a while, but made me realize that I have to do, guess what? Some more tracking. Really in a period as of right now where I track everything. And I think that is going to pay off a lot. So yeah, as of right now, I'm tracking a lot of stuff. But what VKTX made me realize was that I also have to track more general stuff. So if we get into the thinking process, VKTX, I was thinking of a gap and crap. So it was up like 40%, something like that. In pre-market, I was thinking about a short as I've been seeing many gap and craps. This although turned out to, I made somewhat of a sloppy trade on this because I didn't follow my checklist. I have a specific checklist that I should and that I should check before I trade the stock. So I'll show it to you in the end of this video. So if you want to take a screenshot, copy it, whatever, if it can help you, I'm super happy to share it. It has helped me a lot with the latest trades where I have followed it. I have made perfect trades. But VKTX, yeah, it turned out to be a sloppy trade because I didn't check all the variables before I traded it. So anyhow, my thinking process was gap and crap. But as you can see, it totally broke out and just went parabolic. But I made some good decisions, or I at least stuck to the one and the truly most important rule of cutting losses quickly. I'm going to show you a screenshot of my Thinkorswim platform instead, because stocks to trade can't show indicators such as VWAP and stuff like that in hindsight, or in hindsight. So what I did was that I shorted up here in this area, just as this turned out to be a fader in the morning. It got this little push up here, so I shorted into this. It looked like it was going to be a really smooth trade with just gapping down and just the ordinary gap and grab. I also want to mention that Huddy made a really great video on this setup, his thinking process as well. I'll leave a link to this videos below in the description as well. He also talks very much about the major volume that was coming in, and as this stock didn't break down. So when we got this test of 640, 638, something like that, we got this first test and a small bounce, and I was like, okay, it's just a small bounce, I'm gonna sit through it. Then we had this major volume, or not major volume, but of course increased volume, and it's very major if you look into the yearly chart. This has never ever in its history traded something like this. Never ever. So it was for sure a major volume for the stock and to its recent history. Although I didn't think so much about this, and it also comes down to the lack of experience that I have with this play or with this setup. That's something I think that you just learn by going over and over and over and seeing the stuff happen over and over again. And a very good thing that Huddy also mentioned was that he talked about the thinking process of the short sellers, because as this area holds up, this can, and as it squeezes, the shorts doesn't get any dips to cover into. they're forced to cover into strength or into this small dip right here. So this is basically what created the big squeeze or the big run up. Also in line with that, it broke past its 52-week highs. So basically many variables lining up together very nicely. Although I made I did stuck to my risk, as I wanted to risk off this somewhat high of this bounce and even high of day. And due to the fact that I got such a good entry, I did only lose like 3.5%. So, and I didn't play this big because, and also I only played with paper money because, as I said in the beginning of the video, I'm not familiar with the gap and crap setup. And also something that I realized, as I said in the beginning also, that I have to be tracking this. So, and I think it's too early for me, or I don't have enough knowledge about the gap and crap setup to get into detail, like, okay, how much does it usually drop, etc, etc. First off, I have to check, okay, what's an average percentage that creates a gap and crap. So is the gap up, like when it's above 50%, it usually craps, 70%, 20%, etc, etc. I have to track the basic data first. So I'm going to narrow it down as I get further on with my tracking, but as of right now, I'm just going to keep it really simple. And yeah, overall, I think it's a very good lesson for me, and a good experience with the gap and crap setup, because this turned out to be a perfect lesson of how the momentum and how the bias on a trade can shift within like two seconds. So main lessons: notify or noticed when a stock has a major volume increase, and also always be intact with the thinking process of both sides, because as you start to get into the thinking process of both sides, you'll start to see how the stock moves and why it moves the way it does much clearer. So yeah, basically that's just it. Some key things: be aware of the psychology behind both sides. Be aware of major volume, and major volume especially holding up at a specific area. That's a very bullish sign. And I'll show you my checklist that I use. So if you want to copy it or just do something similar, this is just an idea. So I have the ticker. I want to go to the SEC filings, shares outstanding. I want to see if the stock is bleeding cash or not, stock the company. I want to see if there's any recent financing. I want to see where the warrants, recent stock splits, ATM, and the psychology things of the trading. So the general long thinking, short thinking, the swing shorts situation, and swing long situation. And what I mean by that is, okay, if we look into VKTX, as longs that swung it the day before it gapped up, what's their position? Are they happy? Are they sad? Are they like panicking? Stuff like that. So in this case, they were really happy. Took some profits off. We have some bag holders from here that also took some profit off. Stuff like that. And yeah, behavior, recent red green fake outs. Yeah, you know, you can read for yourself. So just a quick tip, and I'll also link Huddies' video below. He did a much greater job of explaining the short and the long side of this and stuff like that. So thank you very much, guys. Have a nice one. Have a nice Friday trading. Remember not to force anything. Peace.